I had somebody ask me tonight, they said, how bad is it? Like, I know it's windy, the miles are a little screwy, the track's deep, but how is it? I'm going to show you how it is. That is the Mohawk paddock. Now, it stopped snowing. I would say in Airstrike's race, I can only speak from when I was on the track, visibility seemed like it was about 12 inches. There was no sight. You could barely see the guy in front of you. Now it's let up a little bit, but the track, you can tell with the miles there, the track is really deep right now. The only thing they can do at this point, you can't screen that in. They're going to have to scrape it, which I know they won't do, so you're going to see the miles go slower throughout the rest of the night. That's the way it is. Now, quick little rundown. We got to get going. Babysitter's waiting. Amy is with me. She raced White Tiger. He raced good tonight. James said still in that left line, which isn't surprising. Let's rewind it. Let's start from the start. Jazzy cruising in style. How did he do today? I missed him race. I missed him race today, but I know they're looking to give him a rest. He's a little tired, and I don't think they're wrong at all. So I know Mark had talked about racing him one more time. I'm pretty sure they're just looking to get money off his card. So I think this is where we'll probably work out a deal with Mark and Michelle for them to acquire a number of shares from the stable. If our stable and clients want to stay involved with Cruising in Style, there'll be no pushing. He can still stay under our umbrella for sure. We'll see how that plays out, but nevertheless, been a great horse for us, and he's raced great all year. Now, next was Jazzy Judy, finished second. I literally had somebody call me and say she shouldn't have got beat. I don't know how good that particular person is at math, but Jazzy Judy tried her last half in 58-2, and unless my eyes were deceiving me, got out of gear and almost made a break coming out of the gate. So obviously a great job by Tim Tetrick. I'm sure he's heard that a million times before, driving Jazzy Judy. And the horse that beat her fair and square, but by no means looked like he manhandled her as it was projected to me. I had to go back and watch the replay. I missed it. I went back and watched the replay. I'm like, yeah, she got beat. She shouldn't have got beat, but he just got up and beat her. So a good race for Jazzy Judy heading into the $100,000 final next week. Now, we get the Mohawk. I'm on pins and needles. We got White Tiger. Who knows what he'll do? Locatelli hasn't raced for 6 weeks. It's true, and you know it. And then I get Airstrike. I didn't need a fortune teller to tell me how that was going to end up. And Globe Trotting, a lot of questions swirling around her. And then later on, we have Brave World. I can't report on Brave World. I don't have a Ouija board. And he's going to race here in another hour and a half or so. But I can report on the other ones. Locatelli looked like a classy veteran. You know, my very short reply to everybody about Locatelli was simple. In my experience in this game, when you treat classy horses very well, they usually reciprocate. You know, we gave him the proper time. We scratched him when we could have raced him when he was under the weather. And then here's a horse off 6 weeks, thundering through a big headwind. You're not going to see very many horses finish up today. And Locatelli finished up very strong. They looked awesome. Next on the track was White Tiger. Didn't know how he'd do. How would he be on that foot? It's going to be short for sure. Now, James said he still was biting that left line a little bit. We're going to continue to work on that. It doesn't disappear. You know, when you stub your toe or smash your knee or hit your elbow, it doesn't go away. I hit my elbow today, and it hurt a lot, actually. It doesn't go away that quickly, and especially when you're talking about feet and all those little ligaments and tendons in behind. You got to take very good care of them. So we're going to try and hire somebody to do that. You got to put that ice on that tomorrow, right? Ice on that. Do you need ice? Do you have ice other than the snow? Okay. So White Tiger, just maintenance, but man, he looked much better tonight. He looked like you want to take it. James said he was out of gear a little bit in the last turn on the left line, but the thing about White Tiger is he wears those open-toed shoes and zero grip.
Larry said it was a very bad track for those
Yeah,
shoes.
well, thanks for Larry. Larry can worry about Larry. Anthony will worry about Anthony. White Tiger. Yeah, well, they're not being changed, so okay. Larry's angling to change them because they're difficult.
He said
no, hard. It's not easy. If you ask me, I would say it's probably the worst setting. Yes, worse than ice, worse than a hard track. The worst setting for a horse with his shoes on tonight. The worst setting that you could possibly imagine would be what he raced in tonight. So a good job from him. 1, to race well. 2, finished up really strong. Thought he was going to run down that horse late. We know the issues. We're going to deal with them. Nothing too serious. Just have to really work on that. That's going to take a while. That line, he's going to bite that line for a little while. But most importantly, just continue to manage that area and he'll be fine. Now, Larry is the devil. He's right there. Speak of the devil and he appears. Larry's the devil. Now, obviously, there was a disappointment time. Airstrike was Airstrike, guys. Listen, we bought the horse for $10,000. He's made $7,500. He was the 8th best horse in there tonight. Those are decent horses. And the track was horrible. So anytime you have a horse that is up against horses he probably shouldn't beat, and then you put him on a night like tonight, he won't. And that's what happened. And I'm going to pitch this line out. As I said to Jason, listen, it's virtually a free horse. Put him in a 15 next week. Race him where he can win. We'll have some fun with him the rest of the winter. So that's what we're going to do with Airstrike. And then Globetrotting, a disappointing mile from Globetrotting now. I know Jason was upset. James wasn't. I mean, James Hoffman said, listen, she hasn't done a whole lot in 6 weeks. She made a break, so she hasn't done a super fast mile in 4 weeks. The track was bad. The wind was bad. Now, James is all about making excuses for her. I'm a little bit in the middle. I thought she raced poorly. But her liver is a little bit high. Not astronomically. Again, we have people saying, what's wrong with her liver? Listen, guys, we have 4 horses we know of for sure in Canada with livers that are spiking. It's happening everywhere. Now, is it that we're noticing it more? Is it that we're looking for it more? We draw blood all the time in all these horses. So we do. White Tiger's another one. His liver can spike at any moment. Amy's always working on that horse's liver. And by working on his liver, it's not like she's massaging his liver. We have supplements that we have the horses on all the time, and it's getting to the point where we're going to have to be a little aggressive with horses. And that's not to say that was her problem tonight. They might scope her. She might have flipped. She might have had a little bit of mucus. She might have bled a little bit. I don't know. I'll know later, but I suspect looking at the race, it didn't look to me like she bled. It looked to me like a horse that was tired, a horse that was struggling with the elements, and quite frankly, a horse that maybe wasn't on the top of her game. So, obviously there's 2 ways. Keep working her way forward until we get her in a place where she's back to herself, or we can turn her out. I don't really want to angle for the latter. I mean, geez, we didn't have her ready till late. She hasn't done a ton of racing. To think that she's tired, it's surprising to me. So I'm going to go with, we're just going to stay the course for now. We're going to scope her, see how it is. I suspect it's going to come back at best inconclusive as far as a blame. We're going to draw our blood tomorrow. Probably going to be something a little more found in there. If her liver count's a little higher than we like, looking at the way she raced tonight, maybe we'll take a week. Maybe we'll school her instead of racing her. And you might ask why? Because the setting is different, right? The setting is the morning. We can treat her when we school her much differently than we can treat her in the race. Can't use that stuff. You're not supposed to, and we don't. But in a schooler, to help her with her training mile, we certainly can. So that might be a way to go. A number of different ways we can alleviate what we just saw from Globetrotting. But the one thing you should remember, it's very important, this is horse racing. You don't always get what you want. And I'm happy White Tiger raced good. I'm super impressed and proud of the work that Harry and Harry's crew did on Locatelli and how good he looked tonight. He looks like a horse that's coming forward in a big way. And Globetrotting, listen, I've been down this road with Globetrotting. She's a warrior. She'll bounce back. She'll race good very soon. I don't want to say next week without looking at her blood and hearing about the scope. But she'll race good soon enough. Don't ever count out Globetrotting. She's a tough mare. So, another takeaway from her, obviously, is that mechanically there's nothing wrong with her. Not on a line, no lameness, no soreness, nothing of that nature. Just simple mechanics, and we'll work on that. We'll get it straightened away. So, with that, we have to swing back by the burn. Here you talk about livers. I got to the bottom of So and Sue's flatness the other day. It wasn't just that she scoped a little sick. Her liver, too, has jumped. You might say, well, what's in the burn causing it? Listen, you will pull every hair out of your head and mine trying to figure out what is causing liver issues. That, keep in mind, when I say their liver's acting up, that is one level on a ton of levels of blood that is indicating that her liver is overactive. Why? I could give you at least 10 reasons off the top of my head, and it might be none of them. So the best way to do it is look at it and say, okay, it's high. How do we mitigate that? How do we fix that? Let's work on treating the symptom. And then as we're doing that, we'll look if there's something there. But having known that Girl from Oz in Australia, our horses in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio, not just ours, everybody's horses, they've worked on this issue. And it might just be something that we're paying a little more attention to now than before. But we'll work through it. So and Sue is in the same boat as a number of horses. Keep in mind, this was something that went through White Tiger. We've dealt with it. We've managed it. We'll continue to do the same with the other horses. So Now you are fully updated on Monday, except for Brave World. Good luck to the Brave World crew. He's a classy old horse. I'm sure he'll do fine in there. I am heading to the barn to make sure we get a brand mash for Jason. He's stuck here at the farm at the track with Cindy. So I said I'll go back. I told the lady that feeds supper, just give her a little bit of food to keep her quiet. When we go back to the barn, we'll mix up a mash with some of the supplements that we have the other horses on. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. Now you're all caught up. It is Monday at 9:19. I am heading out. It is in case you missed it before, a snowstorm in Ontario, Canada. Take care.